Hi there, I'm Yucca, and this is the Apatros Review. Now, today is my birthday, or at least the time of this video, and because it's 21st of March 2023, and I turned 38 today. I'm doing two videos to mark the occasion. And I basically give my birthday wishes to anyone else born on the 21st of March. Now, in this episode, we take a look at actually the first of two legendary cold turkeys I'm reviewing for my birthday. And I've chosen two masochistic pleasures that I believe are so bad they have a legitimate entertainment value, but not quite enough to be so bad it's good movies. So my alternate grade of so bad's Passable applies here. Enjoy the show, fellow masochists. Now in this episode, we take a look at the 1961 Bad Movie classic, The Beast of Yucca Flats, which is a top contender for worst film ever made by the opinion of many Bad Movie masochists. I somewhat agree on this, but I consider this to be something of a legitimate artistic merit, and also something of a visual poem, the reasons of which I'll give you in my review right about now. But first, the stats and the synopsis. Now, this was theatrically released in the United States, and it's an American film, on the 2nd of May 1961. It was directed and written by Coleman Francis, who also appeared in a couple of roles in this film. Actually, he had three roles in this film. He was the narrator, the gas station attendant, and somebody buying a newspaper. His wife and two sons are also in the film. His two sons playing the two young boys. And a bunch of other people. But also the main attraction is Tor Johnson, a classic actor from the Ed Wood stable. He was actually a Swiss wrestler. He also had the habit of being so heavy he constantly broke toilet seats. and also fellow producer Anthony Cardosa also plays one of the KGB agents. And a helpful neighbor. Now, the film was directed and written by Coleman Francis, produced by Anthony Cardosa and Francis, photographed by John Cagle, music by Erwin Nafshon, Al Remington and Gene Cower, and Coleman Francis also did the editing along with Anthony Cardosa. Now, for the synopsis. After a brief scene where a topless woman is strangled to death by mysterious men with ragged sleeves and her lifeless body then given a struggle snuggle, my archive print is of the uncut version of the film. Regular prints have the first 19 seconds removed. I'll elaborate on this later. A prominent Soviet scientist named Joseph Jarovsky, who was involved in the Soviet space program and who has information on the Ruskies secretly sending its manned mission to the moon and planting a flag there, defects to the West after his young wife is murdered back home. I suppose that's what the intro nude scene is supposed to be. The only problem with that is that the mystery murderer/struggler snuggler is wearing the same clothes you'll see in a different character later on. And his hands match said different character later on as well. The nude scene was really only added because writer-director narrator Coleman Francis wanted to put some bare female skin in this film. And after Jarovsky lands in the US military's nuke range of Yucca Flats, the same place that iced an entire film crew and cast after its radioactive soil was shipped to a soundstage used for film production, causing the cast and production crew to get various radiation-induced sicknesses, including John Wayne and Yul Brynner. And by the way, if you hear any snoring, that's my dog sleeping next to me. That's if you hear snoring. Jarovsky is intercepted by a pair of KGB's not so finest, following by a car chase directly into the blast radius of the latest nuke detonation, and only Jarovsky survives. His secret files burning up, but he alone left intact at the cost of his brain cells. And I mean that quite literally, as Jarovsky becomes the deadly superhero known as the Incredible Hulk. No, I'm just kidding. Although the Hulk was apparently based on this guy somewhat, his real name is the Beast of Yucca Flats. His superpowers are pretty badass. The powers of surviving radiation, loss of the ability to speak coherently, resulting in subsequent dialogue being caveman grunts and moans, and the ability to walk as far as long as possible without needing any food or water, only requiring a large stick to act as a cane, since his massive fat lard ass can't move faster than the T-800, in the Sega Genesis version of Terminator 2 Judgment Day platformer game that came back in 1993. Pretty impressive powers there, buddy. After his brain is put to sleep permanently, the Beast comes across a couple in a car. He obliges the wishes of the husband to get out of this stinking movie by choking his lights out, then grabs a wifey and takes her back to his new retirement cave for some prehistoric bedroom action. But when two kids get lost, roaming the terrain for some exploring, the Beast leaves his dying female captive and starts stalking the two boys. In real life, the two sons of the film's director, who were only saved when a pair of ex-military vets turned sheriffs who had headed out to rescue them came just in the nick of time to save the young foolish backsides, right after they tried to use their worried father's target practice by shooting at him from a plane and very nearly succeeding in hitting the bullseye. The film ends with the beast gaining the Lord's forgiveness in the form of a cute little baby jackrabbit wandering along, who passes a kiss to the beast and goes on its merry way right before the beast cashes in his life chips and visits St. Peter at the pearly gates, who lets him pass since, despite being a communist Zionist, Jurafsky repented his socialist tendencies and his subsequent actions being the result of his brain getting literally fried to ash and therefore not his fault, something along the lines of the Rubik Marines from Warhammer 40k, who are just piles of dust encased in their power armors, trapped there forever, not having much sentience, being at the whim of a competent sorcerer. Tough bastards, too. Most people consider the BC Yucca Flats to be an absolutely awful movie. Last time I checked, this movie has a 1.9 rating on the IMDb, which was current a few minutes before I did this review. But as an absolutely hardcore masochist who spent part of my 30th birthday playing the Sega Genesis version of that Terminator 2 platformer game I mentioned a few minutes ago, this film ain't that bad. First off, the film works far better as a visual poem, the artistic narration that writer-director Coleman Francis performs here feeling rather appropriate, and turning this into a rather dark fairy tale akin to the original versions of your typical Brothers Grimm folklore stuff. The dialogue is almost non-existent as the film was dubbed in post, and only select dialogue was kept in, as well as the actors deliberately obscuring their mouths whenever they're speaking, just to enable the post-production dubbing to work. This gives a somewhat otherworldly feel to the film. A bit like what you would get if you were an alien sitting a spaceship in Earth's orbit, watching the events shown here unfold, while your buddy is putting up commentary next to you, making educated guesses of what he thinks is going on down below. This results in a weird-feeling movie that does have some artistic masochism value, and makes it ripe for heckling entertainment if you're so inclined. So the AD-, or so bad it's passable grade, is applicable here. Not a gory film at all despite the body count, but Lionel Cato, some chick from New York, provides the boobs you'll see in the uncut version of the film, right before she is fatally neck massaged and struggle snuggled by the mystery chap wearing the same clothes and having the same hands the beast has. And about that, if you want to get the uncut version of the Film Detective, I think that's what they're called, the company that does those restoration prints of old movies, they actually released a DVD of this. It's actually a DVD disc that's burned, but back in like 2017, 2018, I actually got that. And it's just the film on the disc, and after the film ends, I think it loops over, I think. Anyway, it's perfect quality for a DVD, and you actually see the first 19 seconds of the film, which were removed from most prints. There was a VHS that was released of the uncut version back in the day, which actually had a some featurette on it, but I don't know because I never had that VHS. I only had the cover scan. So if you want to get that, look up the Film Detective, and they should have like the uncut version on the restoration print. And in fact, actually, I do know there are. I think the restoration print was shown on YouTube somewhere. So look it up. Anyway, now I give the BC Yucca Flats an AD-, which is so bad it's passable. Now my alternate, which is equivalent to a C+, like a 5 out of 10. And my alternate ratings are AD-, AD, and AD+. AD+ for the so bad it's awesome. Anyway. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions about films or games, or just to give me some birthday wishes, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Hope you guys are staying safe, take it easy, and see ya.